What's something we all just pretend no one does, but in truth we know we all do it? It is not the picking of the nose that separates us, but what comes after. My dad, 2015. User replies. A. Eat it. B. Put it in a tissue. C. Stick it to nearest hidden surface. D. Flick and let universe decide its fate. User replies. When I was a kid, I was D, till one day I noticed there was a lot of something weird on my bedroom door, next to my computer desk. What is this stuff? Oh my God. What have I done? User replies. That feeling when you finally flick the sticky booger off your finger after 7 tries. User replies. Realize later it's still stuck to you. Panic clean before guests come over to then apologize for the mess. User replies. Until you start having no panic, then you stop cleaning, it follows that you stop apologizing for the mess. And finally you stop having visits. User replies. Depression doesn't count, LOL. Unexpected guests hide behind the front door noiselessly, watching out the peephole until they've left. Because I'm an introvert, or a coward, or both. User replies. Oh God, I still think about this. Our old house had a glass front door, so you couldn't walk down the hallway without someone seeing you. I was wandering around the back end of the house, without any pants on. The doorbell rang, and I saw it was the postman. But I couldn't get to the bedroom, where my pants were, without giving him a full view of my naked lower half. So, I hid behind the wall and waited for him to go away. And after he left, I couldn't find the parcel anywhere. Eventually I found it on the back veranda. Just off the back room, which had really big windows and open curtains. So while I was hiding from him, he's come around to the back of the house and left my DVDs on the back veranda, and he would see me, half naked and hiding behind the wall. Kids hide their profanity from adults, and adults hide their profanity from kids. Because both sides must maintain the illusion that the other side doesn't know that they know profanity. User replies. I still remember vividly, the first time I heard my 13-year-old boy loudly exclaim, "Duck," through an open window. He was carrying groceries in, and dropped a gallon of milk on the pavement. It was proper usage, and I couldn't bring myself to yell at him over actual spilled milk, so here we are. User replies. One of my then 8-year-old twins surprised me in front of several adults one day. For the longest time, when an injury was narrowly avoided, would ask my kids, "What's rule number 1? Don't die," they would gleefully respond. This time, young River instead responded, "Ducking live." Again, he had a very energetic smile. Then I recalled saying that to them once, when talking about my deceased brother and how much I missed him. LOL, I had no recourse, and made no reprimand nor correction. Welcome to the new rule number 1. User replies. My 4-year-old was eating a popsicle and it broke in half and fell on the kitchen floor. She looked down at for a second, sighed and quietly said, "God damn it," before going to get toilet paper, to clean it up. My wife denies it, but I know our daughter picked it up from her, because it was exactly how she says it. User replies. My 4-year-old fell off the couch and instead of crying, he exclaimed, "Holy shit." I wasn't even mad. Read messages from the notification bar then pretending you didn't see the message only much later. User replies. I occasionally turn off my Wi-Fi and data, read the message, close the app and then turn data and Wi-Fi back on. It seems to work. User replies. I gotta ask, at that point, why not turn off read receipts? User replies. I like seeing when others have read my messages. I just don't like them seeing when I do. Sometimes I'm a giant hypocrite. User replies. You're not alone. Recently, I had to insist that my wife knocks loudly and waits before opening my son's bedroom door. I really had to explain why, for duck's sake. I know he's constantly jacking off, but he would be mortified if anyone knew, especially his parents. User replies. I was hanging out late at my brother's house, when his sons were 13 and 15, but also shared a bedroom. The kids had all showered, gone to bed, then the bedroom door opens and the 15-year heads into the bathroom. My brother says, I just don't get that boy. Seems like every night he takes a shower, goes to bed, then gets up and takes a 20-minute shit. To this day, I still don't know if he was so willfully ignorant or making a low-key joke. Maybe he had truly forgotten what being a teenaged boy was like. User replies. Does it take 20 minutes for a teenage boy to jack off? Kid might actually be shitting. User replies. Between setting up the mood, choosing your favorite video, photos of whoever and whatnot, yeah, I think 20 minutes is a good time window. User replies. Takes a while sometimes to read the source material and familiarize yourself with the lore and better appreciate the adaptation. User replies. Me and my brother shared a room in high school, and so we could only ever do it in the shower or on the toilet. My dad caught on, but my mom never really did, and would get incredibly mad when we would spend 30 minutes going to the bathroom. After countless events of her knocking on the door and yelling, "What's taking you so long? Come on out," every 5 minutes, my brother eventually got fed up and yelled back, "Shut up, Mom, I'm masturbating." She didn't do it anymore after that. User replies. You're bother taking one for the team. A true hero, I and my penis salute him. User replies. My wife likes to burst into our daughter's room. I told her maybe she should stop that and she said, "Oh my God, did you walk in on her?" And I had to tell her no, but she's 16, so she should have personal space. She doesn't understand. User replies. My mom never seemed to take the hint on this one, even after I put a sign on my door, requesting the loud knock and wait. Only thing it changed was going from barging in without warning, to a single knock then letting herself in a split second later. So many times, I had to very hastily cover myself and awkwardly hold a conversation pretending everything is normal. Reading comments, texts multiple times after sending, posting them. Just to let the fact that you're a modern-day Shakespeare settle in. User replies. The amount of time I spend looking at my own posts, messages, and pretend that I'm an outsider looking in is embarrassing. User replies. Only to discover you left out an important word and the whole meaning of your post just vanished. You already made it halfway through the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. Let's continue. Picking your nose and finding that root boog that feels like it's attached to the base of the brain. User replies. One of the best feelings in the world. User replies. And when pulling it out, it feels like you're unraveling your brain. So satisfying. Making up conversations in my head, before something important. Like, I will say this and then the response from other person might be this. Sometimes it can go for 10, 15 minutes, before I snap back to reality. User replies. Especially arguments. I can have both sides of an argument with someone all by myself in my own head. User replies. This is why I spend so long in the shower, lol. Just stand there, going through potential arguments in my head and how I'd win them. If anyone asks why I was in the shower for 30 minutes though, I'd never say so. Also, the arguments in real life never really go how they did in my head. I'm a lot smarter and wittier when I'm arguing against myself. Fart in public. I was at Home Depot a few months back and I was walking down an aisle and another dude was walking down that same aisle, towards me. When he realized I would be walking where he just was, his exact words were, "I about just shit my pants right over there, maybe give it a minute before you head that way." I've never been so appreciative towards a complete stranger. That's real looking out for your fellow man right there. We've all been out and unknowingly walked through someone else's fart, or had someone else walk through ours? User replies. 10 years ago, my boyfriend and I had just started dating and we decided to take a trip together. We were late to get on our flight, so I ended up sitting in front of him, instead of next to him. As we taking off, I feel my stomach rumble and realize I'm going to have a bad case of the altitudes. I proceed to blow ass almost the entire flight. As soon as we get off the plane, my BF starts complaining about how someone farted the entire flight. He was so mad and I didn't have the heart to tell him that it was me. Instead, I waited to tell him that secret on our 1-year anniversary. We had a good laugh about it and now he calls me Toots. I don't know if we all do it, but open a card and pretend not to see cash fall out while reading the card. User replies. Gotta hit M with the, I'll write a card. Let's see what it says. Fantasize about doing something, someone, you shouldn't. User replies. Me, driving home in a good mood, looking forward to dinner. My brain, you could just drive over all those people on the sidewalk. Nah, that would ruin dinner plans. Let's just be normal for now. User replies. Sometimes it baffles me how easy it is to throw our lives away. User replies. I had this intrusive thought this morning. Driving into work, and some major interstates are under construction, with one of the main highways that dumps into the city, being reduced to 2 lanes. I thought, if you do it right, you could wreck with that car next to you and completely shut down traffic into downtown. Sure, you might die and kill the other person, but this one, quick, mindless action, could significantly impact this entire city. How interesting. User replies. Significantly impact this entire city. I feel like this is something we should look at more closely as a society. I think a lot of impulsive, crazy decisions people make are because they feel like a small cog in a giant machine, in which they feel powerless. There's this urge to impact our environment, in sometimes wild ways, just to feel a sense of control over this world and our individual lives. You don't have to shut down an entire city to have an impact. I hear you. You are important and have made an impact on me, if that has any value to you. Making up fake scenarios in our head. User replies. I have literally cried over scenarios that weren't real. User replies. I was digitizing some old cassette tapes of my mom singing a while back, and thought, I'll probably play this at her funeral one day. Sobbed hard for like an hour. Look up words that people use, because we don't know the meaning, even though we pretend to when they are talking. User replies. Like, I know I'm using the word in the right context, but if someone was to ask me what it means, I could not tell them. User replies. I took an ADHD screening test and they asked approximately 1 million questions that felt like an IQ test. I'm decent with vocabulary, but she hit me with palliate. I left feeling real stupid. Assume you are above average intelligence. User replies. I usually assume I'm either the most galaxy-brained human to have ever lived or a complete dumbass. It really depends on the day and on what I'm doing. Convincing yourself in your head that everyone around you is doing things perfectly and at full efficiency and expect the same of the people around them. No? Just me? User replies. I feel like I'm a moron that is just hiding my uselessness very well. Trying to fart carefully, so that it doesn't make too loud of a sound. User replies. Unless you're alone. Then I'm trying to recreate a sonic boom. When you go into an aisle in the grocery store and you see someone in front of the object you're looking for, so you pretend you're getting something else, all while hovering near them waiting for them to leave that area, so you can get said object. I'm sure there's actually a term for this, but the thing you do when you're upset or hurt and then attribute it to something that feels more respectable, to be upset about. Like instead of crying because you're mad that someone forgot your birthday, spirals into the long history of wrongs that person has made. Because it's embarrassing to say that you just wanted to be a special boy for a day. Big thanks to everyone who watched the entire video. We're aiming for 250 subscribers by the end of the year. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one.